You know, we've been working in the month of March on a course in human behavior. Have you been enjoying it?
Yes.
We talked about how to find joy by staying balanced. We talked about how not to wear the burdens of other people. We can help them and have compassion, but we don't want to wear their burdens. And we talked last week about letting go. And Patrick shared some wonderful insights into how we could easily do that. Have you been doing your homework?
Yes.
Okay, good. Yeah. You know, it's good luck isn't a test, you know? It's good that we just get to try and try again. Okay, I want to talk to you today about group consciousness. And this is the vision that Spirit gave me, so I want to start with this. If you consider the ocean and all of the life in the ocean, every microorganism to every great fish is a part of that ocean. And because they are there, they affect the ocean. Even the one little teeny weensy little fish swimming all by himself, totally all by himself, in this huge ocean, because he has a presence, he will affect the ocean. But then we have areas where these life forms begin to gather. And because they gather and they bring their energies into a group, it begins to have a stronger effect. And I was reminded of the coral reefs, that apparently some of them are diminishing at this point. But it's a space where a type of life gathers in the waters. And because it gathers, it creates this advantage to the ecosystem and creates this and creates that. And it becomes impactful. It impacts the ocean. And I had seen a program where some of the people, some of the scientists were concerned that as they atrophy, they're going to impact the ocean in a negative way. Their absence will affect not just that area, but the whole big blue energy of ocean. So we are in an ocean of consciousness. We are all in this beautiful ocean of consciousness. And by the very fact that you are here and you think, you affect the ocean of consciousness. Do you understand? You affect it. We feel you when you leave. We feel you when you transit. You affect it. But when we get a group of people that come together in group consciousness, we have the capacity to impact it. Affect, we might influence it a bit, but impact is an energy and a force that needs to be reckoned with. Impact can create change. Do you see the difference? So, as we are walking in our world, every thought we have is going into this beautiful consciousness, the greater group, the ocean of mankind that we live in. Every thought. Are you glad about that? Some of them you want to pull back, don't you? But they're going out there. And then when we come together in individual groups, we become stronger. So that's what we want to look at today, all right? So, everything that we do, everything we say goes into the collective. You know, and when you're channeling divine ideas, do you know those divine ideas that come down? And they come, whoa, I never heard of that before, I've never thought of it before. You can feel it's coming from that higher consciousness. And then you don't do anything with it. And don't you get mad at yourself? I should have done something with it. You know what you did do with it? You thought it. It went into the ocean. It may not have traction, it may not be gathering anybody, but you thought it. And because it's out there, someone who asks the question about that very topic has access to that divine thought. Do you see how powerful you are just in your neutral state? Just in your neutral state of living your life. You're a powerful being. All right. Consciously contributing your energy and life force to a group, an idea, or a mission increases the energy of that mission and that group. See, I've been talking so far just about us thinking, but when you consciously decide, I'm going to contribute my energy to this group, you have now taken your life force and put into a group so that it can grow and get bigger. Can you think of groups that you're affiliated with? Okay. We all are affiliated with groups. Right. There is always an exchange with group consciousness. You feel like you're doing it out of the goodness of your heart, and you're not. I just want you to know that. You may think you're the most altruistic person in the world, and you're not. You are getting something in return for that. I don't mean to sound unkind, but everything that we choose consciously to be a part of, we are getting something in return for it. I give you my energy, you give me something in return. If I need to feel good about myself, if this makes me feel valuable, then that's my return. Makes me feel good to give, makes me feel good to be a part of this. That's my return. I'm giving and I'm receiving. Do you see? Now the problem is we consciously choose to join groups, but we don't always know why. What was I bargaining for again? What did I want to give and what did I want to receive? Sometimes we do it quite fast, and we don't realize exactly what we've asked for. So, sometimes we say, oh, I just got swept up. I just got swept up in the moment. You're never swept up in the moment. Do you understand that? You are never swept up in the moment. You have made a choice to join it for some reason. And all of the older people are going, I know. All the younger people are going, I don't think so. But it's true. For some reason, you allowed yourself to be swept up in that energy. So, I wanted to go over very quickly the principles of energy, not to test you on them, but maybe to give you an idea of how the energy functions. Is everybody ready? Okay. Have you ever been in a conversation where someone just comes in and dominates the whole thing? I would be the one doing the dominating. Oh, here goes Cindy. When two energies come together, it's true, because I got things to do, people to see. Boom, 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 let's go fast. When people come together, there's an energy principle called entrainment, and I'm just being very gentle with it, I'm not an expert. Entrainment is when the weaker energy will vibrate toward the stronger energy. And it will either resonate with it or it will be repelled by it. Now, if it's repelled by it, when I'm going, hey, you want to talk? Sarah goes, no! And she goes for the door. But if she has anything that resonates with my strength, anything that resonates with me, it will quicken within her. And so she will, because I'm playing the dominant role in this moment, so she will resonate to me. Then what happens is synchronicity occurs. She has to synchronize with something in my energy field. She has to almost like dock onto something in my energy field. So since she's a music girl, and if I just want to talk to her, just because I like Sarah, oh Sarah, talk to me. I can say, all I have to do is say, Sarah, do you hear that song? She's in. Now all I have to do is keep her in. Now, because she's in and she's locked in so cool, I could begin to change the topic to something a little away from music. But she's still in. After synchronicity comes resonance. It's when the common bond, which we've now created, the common bond vibrates at for a prolonged period of time. It begins to resonate. It creates a frequency. And then the fourth step is synergy. It's when we have talked, whoa, we've been buzzing, synergy, the energy becomes greater than the sum of its parts. We have created an experience that is greater than Sarah or I. Now, if we're talking music and she comes in and I just want to talk with her, we're talking music and I could say, oh, did you hear about the angels? Oh, let's channel angel music. We could be in this great bubble of energy talking about angel music, which would feel surreal. It would feel celestial, wouldn't it? Okay. And I know we've all had those experiences. Have you also had the experiences where someone comes in and says, oh, I hate my spouse? And you go, well, I'm good with mine. Oh, but he took my car keys. Oh, I remember when mine took my car keys too. There you are. Okay, good. Now, let's just find a way to keep the energy going, resonance, so we can get something greater. So often when you talk with someone who has a problem and they are really wanting to share their problem, you take that energy, it becomes greater, and your angst toward your spouse, your situation becomes amplified, not because anything happened, but because you played. Group consciousness. This is the typical salesman. Every salesman knows how to do this.
Yeah.
They know how to do it. And when you're in a sales meeting, let's say that you all have come here because I have a wonderful new product. It's going to make you healthy, happy, and happy. The first thing that I do is I tell you I've got something that you need that you don't know you need. Now who's the dominant? Oh, you don't even know you need it. Then I begin to tell you all the things that it can do and all the reasons you need it. And if you don't need it for this reason, you'll need it for that reason, and I will find a reason you need it. And I will go down my list of reasons until everyone in that audience has locked in. And then the resonance occurs. We're all singing the same song. We're all on the same beat. We need that because it's going to make us rich and famous. We need this because it's famous. This is a lecture from heaven. Blah, 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 blah. Stories and stories and stories. And then what happens? Synergy. The whole room comes alive. Everybody rushes to the back of the room to buy the product. And they buy everything. I signed me up for a lifetime membership. I want everything you've got.
That's a great salesperson.
And it happens all the time. The reality is, we all go home. We're not under the influence of the master salesman any longer, and we typically will vibrate a little bit back down to our own experience. We won't hate our husband so much. We'll wonder why we bought all this product, and look at the bill that's coming every month and wonder how that happened. And we think we're okay. But the reality is you have just invested your energy in the conversation, in the music creation, in the product. Now those are quick things you can see easily, right? Let's talk about long-term relationships. Long-term group consciousness, because those things, you got to put your energy back, by the way. Let me not leave you hanging. When you realize that you have energy invested in things along these lines that we just discussed, what you want to do is realize that may not have been for my highest and best good. So I can pull my energy back out, but the contribution is there. You have just contributed to other people buying the product. You've just contributed to that lady's discomfort with her spouse. Yeah. Are you guys uncomfortable? You pour your energy back. Okay, let's talk long term, because we can always heal that, right? The short term? Okay. All right. Long-term group consciousness. When we are looking for family groups, do you guys realize you need a family group? We are human. We need family groups. And we need more than husband and wife. We need more than parent-child. We need more than our ancestors. We need to bond. Some of you fellows like to bond with the golfers on the greens. Some tennis bonders we have. You know, we need family group. So as we begin to select the groups that we are consciously want to bond with, we are doing it for a payoff. Some groups we bond with out of fear, and some groups we bond with out of love. If I'm buying the product that's going to heal me, what am I buying and bonding with?
Fear.
A fear, probably, because I didn't even know I needed it, now I need it, oh my God. And if I bond with the product out of fear, what grows within me? Fear. If I bond with a group out of fear, what grows within me? Fear. You know, there are a lot of groups that it's wonderful to be active in groups. We need family. We absolutely need family. We do need family. Better that we are affiliated with a group that stands for something than a group that stands against something. Because even if it's a group against something, there is a way to say that very same thing positively. You know, I'm going to be for this. Let's start a group for this. You see? Because if I'm against something, I'm going to put my energy into something that inhibits, limits, and basically has a fair component to it. So, finding the energies that make you feel what you want to feel. When we bond with love, I just want to share what returns to us and what amplifies within us. is the love. All right. We sink. How are we sinking in? How are we sinking in? Are we sinking in through a fear-based or a love-based thought? All right. Every group you are a part of, you are investing your energy in, and the overall group that you are investing your energy in creates impact. It becomes the coral reef that grows and creates impact in our sea of mankind. You guys understanding the power of group consciousness? All right. We're all connected. We are all connected in this sea. We are all connected. I know I talked to you a lot about the harmonic convergence that occurred in 1987. Do you remember that? It is a day, it was in August 87, when the call went out across the globe for a prayer to create greater good than negative. And it's called critical mass of the planet, the energy of the people on the planet. And it was the intention to shift critical mass to just 1% more positive than negative, just 1% more. And that day, I sat in my little backyard, did my prayer. I wasn't with a big group, but I was with a big group. You know, everybody was doing their connecting and praying that day. And I have a list of all the things that occurred afterward. The Berlin Wall fell. There was a prayer for peace that happened for the next 4 years, or from 1990 to the next 4 years after that, where the globe got together to pray for peace. Russia fell. Can you believe that? I lived in a world where this was a mega power. It would be like saying the United States is no longer the United States. Can we fathom this? No. That happened. Can you fathom that? It happened. This energy of peace just started bathing the planet, and critical mass, according to those who measure it, say it went to 51% positive. Just enough to shift some of the activities that were going on. If you've followed any of the prophecies, they started not happening at the end of 1980s. Edgar Casey's prophecies, you could look them, boom, 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 check, 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 check. End of 1980, end of the 80s, they started not happening. Or they'd happen odd, like the earthquake in California happened at 5 o'clock in the morning. How serendipitous and graceful is this? I mean, people were killed, but it was so early. There was a divine intervention that if we have to go through this, let's go through it easy and gently. You see? All this beautiful magic started happening. Why do I keep talking about those events, 87, the prayers for peace? Why do I keep talking about that? It affected group consciousness, and it has not happened since then. Why? We're so proud. Why have we not organized a global movement to do something of equal nature? It's 2015. Why are we not globally active now? Why did we not take hold of that? And everybody that participated knew how powerful it was. Why don't we take hold of that and make something every 10 years at least, every 7 years, every some odd years? Let's do something crazy. Let's get the whole world praying. Whoa, doesn't matter your religion. Let's pray for peace. The whole world. But it hasn't happened. Why? Because our group consciousness and our beautiful sea of little fishies flying and all of us having a good time, we said, oh, it's good enough. I'm good. My little pond's good. It's good enough. It's good enough. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. We got comfortable with the level of our consciousness as a group, as a big C group, as the biggest group. I wanted to share with you something out of the Life and Teachings of the Masters of the Far East. This is in book 3. As you can see, this is my well-used book. Finding anything is difficult in here because everything is marked. They're talking about the future. A few groups will achieve these higher accomplishments. These groups do, in a measure, become a guiding beacon for the human race as it again marches on to another high point in civilization's progress. It is still to be determined whether the mistakes of a few, accepted by the majority, can again overwhelm and carry the great bulk into oblivion for a great cycle of time. It is still to be determined whether the mistakes of a few, sanctioned by the majority, allow our world to go into the great oblivion again. Now, we don't have conscious memory of the first time, or the second, probably. But that is the power that we have. Sanctioned by the majority. That means we are not participating in creating anything different. All those people that got our back, they got our back. We got food on the table. We don't really think about the farmer or the shelf space they have to pay. And I'm not inciting a riot here at all. I'm saying maybe to become aware of group consciousness in a way that becomes proactive for you and for the world. So, when I was meditating, they said, Spirit said this, tell them, you guys, the value of peace. If you can find in your consciousness peace, if you can align with people who are committed to peace, and I'm not talking peace through isolation, oh, we're not going to talk to you people, we're going to go live in peace, because we've seen groups like that. Peace through judging others, you're bad, we're peaceful. A true peace, an inner peace, where we don't fight ourselves inside, where we don't argue with ourselves, where we're not on ourselves all the time. A true peace. And we let the love of God, where we know everything is available to all mankind, and we want our brothers to succeed, and we want to succeed, and we want to be in the energy of the Christ. We want to walk in divinity. Peace. We align with peace. What impact will we have on our fellow sea creatures? We will not just affect. We will be a force to be reckoned with. Just because we are. Just because we are trying to hold the light of peace in our heart. Can you imagine what it would look like if you just felt peace when you go into your work every day? Adriana isn't here. I was at teaching a class last week. And she said at break, she goes, yeah, Cindy, I knew you were not balanced in harmony because I was mad at the board sliding. You know, the board you write on, it started sliding. It's like, darn you, board! I was not in peace. And when I am not in peace, it's obvious I'm not in peace. It's obvious I'm not in peace. But when I'm in peace and Patrick is in peace, we're miracle workers. Do you hear me? We are miracle workers. And if you say, well, I can't find peace at home. Okay. Where can you find peace? In your heart. And where else can you find a group of people who are starting to find peace? Here. Okay. Here we have an opportunity. This beautiful little group consciousness that we have here, of people who come in, loving God, feeling God, opening to God, joining their hearts with everyone here, everyone creating a beautiful acceptance of one another. Do you think this impacts? I think it impacts. And when you walk out, do you take out greater fear or greater love?
Greater love.
Greater love. And I'm sure that's true of most churches. We need this. We need a space where we can come and invest in something that is greater love. All right. So, stand for something, not against. And realize your power. Your great energy has such power to contribute. So, you may think, I'm going to go resign from some groups, and you may need to. You may think, I'm going to reroute some groups, and you may be able to. But be aware, harmony and peace do affect the world. We have evidence. And somebody, maybe nobody in this room, but somebody's going to create a worldwide prayer. A worldwide prayer. I know it, I feel it. That's maybe 2017. And I would hope that when they do that, each and every one of us is a part of that. To be a part of this beautiful group that seeks love. Take a breath. How you feel? Put your feet on the ground. God, we love you so. And I would ask that each of you just feel that beautiful energy of God's love coming over you. And as it does, feel it just holding you safe. But I want you to feel within your body, cells, your mind, your emotions, the great opportunity that is yours as the beautiful channel of God's love. And let that light of God begin to move through you. A beautiful light pouring through the thoughts, the body, the heart, all that you are. Take a breath and feel yourself lifting up the beautiful column of light. And just let it lift you up into a cloud. Feel the presence of Jesus Christ meeting you. And feel His love. And as He takes you by the hand, feel the great impact that is yours to share. The great ability you have to impact the whole. And as He holds your hand, feel His energy. He had to cut through much. His love had to cut through much before impact occurred. Feel His reassurance to you. The path is open for you. You are the perfect creator, child of God. I want you to feel His hand and feel the realness of it. Everything I do, you shall do in greater. Feel peace. And as you breathe, just feel beautiful starlight coming into you, feeding your very soul. Letting the responsibility become joy. And just take a breath and gently let yourself come back down into your physical body. Everything you say affects. Everything you say goes into the ocean. So let's put right now a beautiful thought of peace on earth. Everybody breathe and feel beautiful peace on earth from your heart. And let's send that thought into the ocean of mankind. And God, we love you so much. Thy will be done. And we know your will is on and on. And so it is. Okay. How you doing? Good. Well, I'm not going to leave you with a song like Patrick did last Sunday, which I know you were singing all week. But do be aware, I'm always asked, how do I get closer to God? How do I take that next step? Send out God thoughts. Send out God thoughts. So simple, isn't it? Say, hey, God.
Yeah.